to the channel, everybody. Got another video for you. Because honestly, I like doing these videos, to be honest with you. So welcome back. First time to the channel, welcome to the channel. This channel, as of lately, it's been basically sharing knowledge about construction in the blue-collar world. This video is going to be touching on benefits. Now, there's multiple benefits for getting into the blue-collar world, and we can touch on both sides. We can touch on non-union and union. So, and again, this reiterates, this is only being talked on from my knowledge and what I have learned in my industry of doing what I do. But it will stand pretty true through most of the trades. I say most of the trades, not all. So again, I'm just going off what I know from being an operator. So, non-union, let's touch on that. You get into a non-union construction company, small, big, large, medium, whatever you want to call it, supersize. I don't even think they do that at McDonald's. I haven't had McDonald's in almost 2 years. So, the benefits to being in construction. Most mid-sized companies will offer insurance, which is great. Everybody needs health insurance, dental insurance. Some don't offer vision, but health and dental are a big one. Most just offer health, not so much dental. But if you get the health and dental, you're doing good. You're doing good right off the rip, and you might not make the amount of money offhand in your envelope. And when I say mean envelope, your net gross income. Well, net and gross are two different things, but whatever your gross income is, you may not make as much as you want or initially thought if you're getting into a company that offers insurance, because they have to pay a certain percentage. Usually it's 80-20. So that's a benefit to getting into construction. 90% of companies that are mid-sized, not small. Small is tough. Small companies have big insurance claims that they have to put in for X amount of employees. Under 10, it's very difficult for smaller outfits to offer insurance. Not all, but most. So mid-size to large, you're going to get health, dental. Basic. Never mind a 401k. So now we can get into that. So mid-sized companies, you're going to get health and dental insurance. Awesome. And your base pay might change. Some companies, mid to big, mid to large companies, will offer you a retirement plan, which is basically a privatized 401. You can invest in certain money. And most companies that are privatized, non-union, will offer a match, which is great. So hypothetically saying, if you put $4 into your hourly, into your, or however you figure it out, you can do week or hour, say you put $4 in, most companies, at least from my experience over the years, it could have changed. This is 2025, we're talking to you guys now. They'll match up to $4, and that's $8 total to going into a retirement plan for you, which gets invested into the stock market, which acts as a fail-proof when you do retire, when you go after that 67, 68, depending on your age, where you are. If you're younger, your retirement age bumps up. It could be 70. There could be some guys watching now that are retired, and they might be able to leave a comment down below to explain to them when they started collecting Social Security and when they could go after their retirement 401k or pension. And we're going to touch on that in a minute. So 401ks, company can match up to a 401k. Some companies cap you. So if they will allow you to go $8 an hour, that's the cap that the company will match, $8. Don't quote me on these numbers, but I'm just giving you rough ideas. You potentially, as an employee, can add up as much as you want into a 401k. Again, this is my knowledge for privatized. It could have changed, so leave a comment down below if it has. I love to be stood correct. I like to learn knowledge myself, and I love reading the comments. So to piggyback off the 401k, which we're going to talk about union coming up soon, I just don't want to forget to add this for the 401k for the privatized company. I want to touch base on a pension. I just mentioned pension. So brief oversight of pensions are, it's basically a self-protected retirement plan that most union companies, if not all, offer for their employee. When it comes to non-union, there's far and few between companies that offer a 401k plus a pension. And a pension, in a roundabout scheme of things, basically states for every good, this is union now, for every good year you put in, you get one pension credit. So you get your hours in order to get your benefits package through the union. That's non-union. You don't have to require a hourly, or I should say, an hour cap, which is 1,000 hours a year, in order to get your benefits for next year. That is a big difference between non-union and union. But just to touch base on the pension, you have to have a good qualifying year to get a pension credit and your insurance for that following year. So today, if we stand at 2025, in order for me to get benefits package in 2026, I have to have at least 1,000 hours accrued in this calendar year, plus my benefits package, which will carry over into the next year. I'll have health, dental, and so on and so forth, plus my 401k, plus my pension. And for every good year you put in, the CBA, we talked about it on a previous video about that subject. That is in the collective bargaining agreement when it comes to your pension and what goes in there per calendar year for every good year you put in. And that number changes union to union. Some unions have more per year. For every good year you put in, you get a check at the end of the year. Or is it monthly? Not sure on that one. Leave a comment down below if anyone can elaborate. If it's I think it's a monthly pension credit, plus your 401k, plus your social. So there's 3 benefits for being in the union compared to non-union on that benefits avenue when it comes to retirement plans. Okay, so we got health, dental, retirement. That's privatized world. Also, another benefit to working non-union, at least in my experience in my hall, non-union, there's a good chance you will get paid vacation. Kind of starts off as first year you get 1 week, second year 2 weeks, third year 3 weeks, and so on and so forth. And I believe probably 100% of companies, mid to large, will cap you at a certain amount of years. I worked for a company for close to 9 to 10 years. They capped me at 3 weeks. That was it. The minimum amount I could get for no matter how many years I put in, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 years, was 3 weeks paid vacation. Most companies now, when you get to that cap, at the end of the year, they make you take your vacation, or I think most companies now, back in the day, you were able to bank your hours and they'd write you a check at the end of the year and you could get like a Christmas bonus. That's a lot of the guys called it back in the day when I was younger, and you didn't use your week's vacations, you could get paid out at the end of the year. I think a lot of companies now, instead of writing all those checks out to say that you got 50 employees working for you and working for your company, and you got 50 guys only took 1 week, but they're all allotted 3, you got 2 weeks unnotified that they didn't take, and they got to write and cut checks at the end of the year for everybody because they don't roll over. That's another thing, roll over. Some companies will allow you to roll over a certain amount of time that you accrued throughout your calendar year. Not all, some. So that's a summary on vacation time. 90 to 100% of companies, small enough where they can afford it, you put in the time, they're going to give you time off accrued. You will get capped 3-4 weeks max, no matter how many times no matter how much years you put into that company. So we got that. Okay, so we touched on non-union benefits between your health, dental, potentially vision, and a retirement plan of the 401k. And there is a big difference between a couple things, a big difference between privatized and union. And we'll basically start off with the retirement situation with that, because health, dental will stay the same, might be a better benefits package. That all depends on what your hall has gone to bat with between for the CBA with the other with the general contractors, and that's another video for another time, and there's a lot of politics on that side. That's another video we can share, the politics side of union and non-union, but I'm rambling. So basically, you get your health and your dental. You do get vision a lot out of the union. You get hearing. Short-term and long-term disability are big benefits to being in the union. So the retirement plan, when I talked about that pension, it's separate from the 401k. So non-union, you will have 401k. Most of them, the big to large companies, medium-sized to large companies, you'll have a 401k, and I talked about that, the matching and all that stuff. Pensions. I elaborated on the pensions, about how many hours you need per year to get a pension credit in order to get that. It is a monthly paycheck that you get for every good year you put in. So there is a big difference between like holidays. So holidays, you will observe all the federal holidays that United States or your part of the country observe. Most Massachusetts holidays are federally observed the federal holidays. So we get everything the federal gets. Not every part of the country will get federal holidays. It all depends on their part of the country and what they signed up for between their CBA. And not every union hall celebrates or participates in federal holidays. We have a couple around here that don't. But as of us and where I am, we do get that. We do not get paid time off. That is a big difference between union and non-union. So if you're looking to get into the union aspect of this blue collar, you probably 90% you will not get paid time off, vacation time. Now I've heard in some situations there is some union guys that will get that, but they've put 25 to 30 years dedicated service to one company. And there's another video that I'm going to make in the future about two types of guys in the union. And that's going to be a controversial video, and I'm probably going to get some guys that might hate me for it, but it's got to be told because a lot of these guys ain't talking about it. Anyways, I'll wrap this video up. Basically, I hope I hit enough points about benefits between health insurance, 401k, vacation time, retirement plans. I hope I did enough. And please leave a comment down below. Let me know what I missed. I want to hear from the young guys. I want to hear from the guys that are my age. And I want to hear from the guys that are retired. Leave a comment down below. Like, share. Hit the notifications bell so you don't miss any more videos if you like this type of format of sharing the knowledge. I feel knowledge is power. And without sharing your knowledge, it's useless. It's useless for everybody. I don't like that mindset. That's the mindset I have. Stay dirty. Till next time.